Today's mind training session with RJ was really special. I have no doubt that his questions and vulnerability will be a source of light for anyone trying to manage addiction or liberate themselves from the past. For those of you wondering if RJ will join me in the podcast, the answer is yes. From the next episode onwards, we'll share the raw recordings of our mind training sessions, upload interviews with RJ, and give you progress reports from the man himself. I'll recount today's session, but after that, RJ will tell his own story. Today, I wanted to talk to RJ about the SUGAL, the gambling. I remembered him telling me that every time he makes progress with his savings or the house, the SUGAL takes over and he finds himself starting again from scratch. So, I made a plan. Whilst we're training RJ's mind to believe that his house is already built, we would also unleash ang power sa PUSO, the power of the heart, to stop the gambling. A few months ago, I attended a workshop in Dallas, Texas with Dr. Joe Dispenza. Dr. Joe is a famous neurologist who, in his early 20s, sustained a spinal cord injury in a bike accident. From his hospital bed, Dr. Joe visualized his spine realigning. With his closed eyes, he focused on his spine and imagined it vertebrae by vertebrae clicking back into place. A few months later, he walked out of the hospital, fully mobile and pain-free. During his workshop, Dr. Joe told an audience of over 2,000 people that in the hospital, he made a deal with God. If he healed his body, he would spend the rest of his life teaching others how to do the same thing. And that's exactly what he did. Since that day, Dr. Joe has helped thousands of people in the US and around the world to heal their bodies from everything from cancer to diabetes to addiction. No drugs, no surgeries, no medications. If you're curious, check out Dr. Joe's YouTube channel where real people have posted their experiences at Dr. Joe Dispenza Transformational Stories. How does Dr. Joe achieve miracles? His method is incredibly simple. He shows people how to create coherence or wholeness with the heart. In other words, he activates ang power sa puso. RJ said, tell me about the SUGAL. Online, ma'am, and with the roosters. I know it's not good, and I don't want it anymore, but it's hard to stop, ma'am. Also, my friends all with the SUGAL. I tried to make busy with trabajo and the building and pick up sa airport, pero mahirap, ma'am. Not so long ago, I read a book called In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts by Dr. Gabor Mate. Dr. Mate is an addiction and trauma specialist who works with hardcore drug addicts in Vancouver's downtown east side. In his book, he shares the personal stories of his patients, stories which moved me to tears. Since then, I've read many of Dr. Mate's books in an attempt to understand what drives people to addictive behavior and how to break the cycle and start anew. From Dr. Mate, I learned many lessons, but my biggest takeaway was this. Any addiction is born out of pain. The pain of disconnection, the pain of absence, the pain of longing. Like Dr. Joe, Dr. Mate believes that the cure for addiction lies in reconnecting to ourselves, to our loved ones, to God. I wanted to share this with RJ. RJ, I said, do you know why you gamble? Habit, ma'am. It's fun, at least when I'm winning. Pero when I lose, not good. And I feel the guilt and I'm ashamed. So I stopped for a while, kasi bad feeling. Pero I always start again. I wanted RJ to know that his gambling was his mind's response to pain. I wanted him to know that it wasn't his fault, and I wanted him to know that there was a way out. Please forgive my Tagalog in this next section. Learning ako, pero walang perfect translation for the topics we want to discuss. Sana it makes sense. RJ, I said, let's talk about why you gamble. Because when we understand why something happens, maaari natin itong ayusin mula sa ugat. We can fix it from the root. Kapag tayo ay nakakaranas ng sakit, when we experience pain, like from a heartbreak or stress or trauma or worry, ang ating mga isipan ay sinusubukan alisan ang sakit. Our minds try to take away from the pain para makaramdam tayo ng mabuti muli agad so that we can feel good again fast. Usually, it uses something from the outside world upang ilihis ang aming atensyon to distract us, like a video game, or food, or alcohol, or gambling, or shopping, or work. Anumang bagay na dagdudulot ng mabilis na ginhawa mula sa sakit. Anything that brings a quick burst of relief from the pain. RJ nodded. The problem is, ang paglihis mula sa sakit ay hindi nag-aalis ng sakit. Distracting ourselves from the pain doesn't remove the pain. And when the pain comes back, sa pamamagitang ng isang alalala, o isang trigger, o isang bagong karanasan na nagdudulot sa atin ng kalungkutan through a memory, or a trigger, or a new experience that brings us sadness, ang isip ay muling naghahanap ng mabilis ng solusyon. The mind looks again for a quick fix. My mind always like that, ma'am. Always looking for SUGAL, or party, or tagay-tagay, even if I don't want. Yes, I said, because we always worry, which makes pain in the body. For example, we worry about utang and we feel stressed. Meron stress sa trabaho and we feel anxious. We worry about our relationship and we feel insecure. And we worry about our bodies and then compare ourselves to others. When we think painful thoughts, we feel pain in our bodies. And when our bodies feel pain, the mind looks for a quick fix. Ito ay isang siklo na walang katapusan. It's a cycle that never stops until we learn to train our minds and i-regulate ang ating mga emosyon. Regulate our emotions. Only then can we be free. Dahil kapag alam natin kung paano pamahalaan ang sakit, because when we know how to manage pain or let it be, we won't look for something on the outside upang mapabuti ito, to make it better. You see? There was light in RJ's eyes. Yes, ma'am. So today, we use the power of the heart to regulate our emotions. Dahil ang puso ay makapangyarihan at mahiwaga. Because the heart is powerful and it's magical. Lahat ng mga sinuanang civilisation ay alam ito. All of the ancient civilizations knew it. With the heart, kaya nating magpakalma sa sarili. We can self-soothe and gain the strength to manage our pain mula sa loob, from within. I asked RJ to close his eyes and concentrate on his breathing. We took 5 deep breaths and I counted him down from 10 to 1. As a warm-up, I asked him to ilipat ang kanyang atensyon mula sa isang bagay patungo sa iba. Move his attention from one thing to another. Place your attention in sa kamay, in your hands, I said. Place your attention sa likod ng iyong mga mata, behind your eyes. Place your attention sa iyong mga balikat, on your shoulders. Place your attention sa iyong mga tuhod, on your knees. When RJ looked relaxed, I asked him to place his attention on his heart. Ilagay ang iyong atensyon sa iyong puso. I asked him to feel the power of the heart. Maramdaman ang enerhiya nito, to feel its energy. Ramdamin mong tumitibok, either by feeling it beating o sa pamamagitan ng pagsunod sa pulso, or by following the pulse, or iniisip itong nagliwanag ng liwanag, or imagining it glowing with light. When the mind builds a habit of distracting us from pain, ang puso ay nagsasara, the heart closes. And when the heart closes, we're cut off from many beautiful experiences such as love, trust, compassion. Dahil natatakot tayong masaktan, simply because we're too scared to get hurt. To open the heart, we have to place our attention on it because, as Dr. Joe says, where we place our attention is where we place our energy. To help RJ open the heart, I asked him to mag-isip tungkol sa isang taong mahal niya. Think about someone he loves. Imagine them smiling, I said. Imagine their face, happy, joyful, and feel that love in your heart. RJ was breathing deeply. Then I asked RJ to mag-focus sa kanyang puso at magpasalamat. Focus on his heart and say thank you. Salamat sa aking buhay. Thank you for my life. Salamat sa mga bagong oportunidad. Thank you for new opportunities. Salamat sa lakas. Thank you for my strength. Salamat because I know I'm not alone. Salamat, salamat, salamat. RJ took a few minutes to come around, and when he did, there were tears in his eyes. What was your experience? I asked him. Very power, ma'am. Power sa puso. Very power, ma'am. Power sa puso. And I felt the energy flow down sa kamay and sa ulo. Lots of energy, ma'am, sa body. I feel like light and very relaxed. I asked RJ to start practicing putting his focus on his heart with the intention of opening it. This is a very simple yet powerful practice because, as Dr. Deepak Chopra says, attention energizes and intention transforms. RJ left, and I was already excited for our next session.